Well, first of all, it's great to be here. Coach Kemp told me to make my 2-hour speech only 2 minutes, so I'm only going to tell you to go to my website, buy my book. Thanks a lot for having me. This is an honor for me to come back to my old school and be amongst the 64 seniors that have had all these great accomplishments. Just so you know, it only took me 7 years to be a senior. So I'm proud of myself, too. Since Don Leahy and Connie Clausen expect me to be silly every time they see me, then tonight will be no exception. So I want to please them for sure. And for those of you that don't remember me when I played football at UNO, and let's just hope that you don't, about 32 years ago, there's some people at this table over here that might remember. Those of you that don't, I brought my entire career on game film. So I'll be glad to let you borrow it. And the sad thing is, it's the truth. It takes about 7 seconds because I did time it. So if anybody wants to borrow my entire career, my message tonight is directed to the 64 seniors, even though I'm not looking at you right now. It is a message of stay in touch with UNO. You don't have to be a superstar athlete like I was, Heisman Trophy winner like I was. You don't have to be a superstar athlete or a 4.0 student to contribute to this great school. You can contribute by giving financially or by giving your time or just talking up this great school when you're out in the public. So since we're here for the seniors, let me tell you some other facts. One is I was the only senior to start freshman football. Actually, we had a freshman football team back then. But speaking of football, I have to tell you my first time ever visiting with Mr. Don Leahy was in 1978. Where's Don at? There's my hero. My first time visiting with Mr. Don Leahy was I got a message from one of the coaches says that you need to go to the athletic director's office. Well, I didn't know what that was or where it was. And I sat in front of Mr. Leahy, and he said, this is in the spring, you need 12 hours to be eligible next fall. Guys, that's a lot of school. So my summer was no fun that year. When you hear me say stay in touch with UNO, 20 years later, I get a phone call from Don Leahy. Now I'm a businessman and not a goofball student athlete like I was back then. But I get a phone call 20 years later asking me to sell their house. And it was an honor to work for Mr. Leahy. So my message once again is stay in touch with UNO. And Don, I'm going to keep it going with you for just another second because I have so much respect for you and what you've done with this athletic program here, you and Connie. And he called me up, Don called me up last spring, and he asked me to meet him for breakfast. And I didn't know why. And I thought maybe I needed more credits or something. Or maybe I need to take summer school, which I would. And thank God that was not the case. But Don was about to miss his first Maverick board meeting that I've been a member of since 1993, and I have to pinch myself just to be thankful that I'm on it with all these supporters that have been around UNO for years and years. But Don was about to miss his first Maverick board meeting, and he asked me at this breakfast, he goes, would you read a note to the Maverick board? And I was so honored. I mean, literally I had chills in me because he asked me to read this note, which I won't go into, but I do need to thank him because he left out big words, which really helped me because he knew I didn't know any big words anyway. But anyway, Don had me read this note at the upcoming MAV board meeting shortly after Mr. Trev Alberts took on the position as the athletic department leader. By the way, thank you, Trev. And this note was an endorsement from Mr. Don Leahy on how excited he is about the future of UNO athletics. And it was just really cool to be able to read that to the board. So just to let you know, it's not just the excitement in this room. It's been going on for this last year. I was going to say let's give Trev a round of applause, but I think I will say let's give Trev a round of applause. There were some things that I was going to cut out of my speech, but I'm not going to cut that one out. This is a very serious message to our seniors. One of my favorite business leaders is a lady named Mary Kay Ash. Most of you know who Mary Kay Ash is, the founder of Mary Kay Cosmetics, which happens to be where I get my foundation from. Thank you for that. But Mary Kay Ash said in her speeches, she said, pretend that everybody you meet, whether it be in your new careers, whether it be your coaches, the people at UNO, the supporters, pretend everybody you meet has a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. Now, if we think about it, if we approached every person we see, and it's very simple to do, it doesn't cost a dime. And I've even challenged corporations that I've given keynote speeches to. I challenged them to everybody that they meet, try to think of something that'll make them feel important. One of the first things that you can possibly do when you meet somebody. And I think if our young people focused on that too, it will also help with your careers. And if you think about it, when you make somebody feel important, they want to be around you. They want to help you. And it's not something that we don't all have the ability and talent to do. When I travel, I have a poster like you see on the walls here. And I have one quote on my poster. Out of all the hundreds of thousands of quotes that are out there, there's one that sticks with me. And it says on it, if there's one thing you should repeat over and over every day, it's, there's nothing I can't do. With the people that are in this room, you're going to build one heck of a program at UNO. You got all the right people in place. You've got some of the best supporters there are. You've got the best looking group of seniors I've ever seen. So all these dreams that you have for UNO will be a reality someday. Lastly, don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to stand out in a crowd. Don't take yourself seriously. Be unique. If you have something to say, say it. Life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real deal. If you don't say what you're feeling or communicate what you want to do in life, chances are you're not going to get the opportunity. So don't be afraid to be your true self when you go out there in the world. Once again, my message is to stay in touch with UNO. It's an incredible school. And I think great things are going to be continuing to happen here. And I'd like to thank everybody for allowing me to be your speaker tonight. And I wish you all the best. Thank you.